Hi, I'm newer to publishing campaign books for tabletop RPGs, but I've been writing and dungeon mastering my own campaigns for over 16 years.
Okay, I'm gonna explain the campaign setting now.
The machine is a star in the center of a solar system without any planets. That's because the machine has everything it needs to support life. Tens of thousands of years ago, the gods created the planet Azuno. And as they did, they made a prophecy of its destruction in a horrible cataclysm. Thousands of years later, that prophecy came to pass, and the gods began destroying Azuno. What the gods hadn't expected was for the wizards of Azuno to have become so powerful that they could rise up and kill the gods themselves. But they weren't able to stop the planet's destruction, so they made a new planet, which is also a star that has everything required to sustain life. They did this by making the machine out of the physical and magical essences of the gods they had murdered. There are 15 levels to the machine. Individual floors are the size of the average life-giving planet, and each level was created by a different ultra-powerful wizard. But something happened in the millennia since its creation, and all the wizards are gone. Almost every level is now left in a state of perpetual chaos, and most people on each level don't even know that the other levels exist. A new environment and adventure that's compatible with 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and other tabletop role-playing systems. Ultimately, this book will be meant to be read by the Dungeon Master and not the players, though. And now, here's a brief explanation of each realm within the machine. After it was created, the lords of each realm looked at their creation, and they saw that it was good. And it was, at first. Level 1, Pangea. Lord Branth did not want anyone but him to use magic. So he created the Temple of Sorrows to suck all the magic out of the air. But magic never left the sea, though. The Sea of Duat. It's one big island in the center of the world, essentially. And underwater fish people, a race of Tritons, because the magic was taken from the skies, the seas became even more magical in this realm because of it. And the Tritons in the water were created by accident. I feel like each realm/level of the machine should be lacking something. In this case, it's lacking magic. It's also lacking sense because, like most people in this place, because of this spell from long ago, are slowly being put into a trance, so they're not even sure what's going on. And sometimes great groups of people just suddenly disappear, but the people are put in a trance, so they don't even realize it. Level 2, the Thunder Kingdom. Lord Loradov was a kind wizard who saw her kingdom as a paradise. But then there was an uprising because it was only a paradise for her, and everyone else was basically a slave. She punished the people, causing horrible storms. Most hid under the mountains of this kingdom after she scorched the sky with horrible lightning storms all over the place. Because of this, people cannot travel the land with metal weapons or armor on. It's safe underground, which is why most people live under there. And the people living underground also don't realize that there's like nomadic tribes living above ground who only use wood. Level 3, the Dream Fields. Queen Andahilla was always a little crazy. She wanted a world where the strangest creatures could live in peace. Something she hadn't considered is that most of these creatures didn't get along. She had to separate them from each other with magical walls. When she died, these walls were destroyed, and this became a shifting world of light and darkness. And after the walls broke down, an endless war between fairies and giants graced this land. Next is level 4, the Dragon Sanctuary. Flame Master Gorgiath was a great dragon wizard and created this place only for dragons. When he was defeated, the dragons disappeared for reasons unknown. But all the people living here live in fear that they might come back someday, since they were basically slaves to these dragons before. Level 5, the Frozen Seas. The Zarl was an awful wizard during his career, and he wanted to retire to a tropical paradise. He was pretty cool, actually, and let anyone come with him, and threw lots of parties. When he died, all the magic in his realm backfired, and he became a giant glacier instead. Level 6, the Large Lands. Feymeister Aton wanted more than any other wizard when they created their realm, so he created 3 planets that circle each other. Travel between the worlds is only possible through spaceships. Each of these worlds is a completely different environment from the other, and each is meant to represent the law, chaos, and neutrality of Dungeons & Dragons myth. Level 7 is Mechanation. The wizard Petruvius was the designer of the entire machine, and wanted to rule it with an iron fist. He conceived the machine so that every level was the home of a more powerful wizard than the one below it. He also wanted the power to destroy all the lands above his, so that once the machine started up, he could destroy every wizard who's more powerful than he was. However, once he started up, it didn't quite work the way he planned. Level 8, the Crystal level. Magical power resonates from the center of this crystal, which provides life-giving power to every other floor. but it resonates at such a high degree around this crystal that the whole level is thought to be unlivable. Level 9, the Deadlands. The Great Belina just wanted a place that was very Earth-like, but though she was killed during the Doom spell that was caused in machinations resonated from the crystal level and went upward, so this land was ended up dried of all its oceans. I was thinking something similar to the post-apocalyptic wastelands you see in things like Mad Max. Level 10, the Fearless Kingdom. The mighty Cruel was both mighty and cruel. Using ancient magic, he was protected from the Doom spell and the Immortal. He might still be hidden somewhere in this realm, maybe. Level 11, the No Land Island. The wizard Brentel just wanted to be left alone. Has a single island and an endless ocean to be alone on. Basically another environment of just like endless water, kind of like Waterworld, that movie from the 90s. Lots of sea ships and pirate battles and things like that, with one tiny island that everyone uses as a port, essentially. Level 12 is the Torrential Chaos. Time Master used to live here. Nobody knows much more than that. Level 13 is Rapture. True Meister thought God should still exist, so he made some to rule over this cosmic land where death is only temporary. These gods would not be real gods, because they were created by a wizard, but they think they're real gods, and they're also very dangerous. Similarly, level 14, Apocalypse. Once a completely different land when it was overtaken by the dark gods that were created from the floor below it. Like, I was thinking no one knew what this land was like before that happened, but this would be like the lower planes from D&D mythos. But unlike the floor below it, where I was thinking there'd be like a buffer for players because they can't actually die there. Nothing like this, where it's just like going through multiple hells in order to come out on the other side. And finally is level 15, the Immortal's Domain. Also known as empty space, because that's what everyone sees it as. Though it's hard to get out of the machine once you're there, people have probably done this and looked around and just see this place as like just a big empty space. So yeah, just a really crazy area with really high levels of monsters and stuff. So that's an explanation of every floor. One more thing I think I should mention, and that's that in order to get to the machine, there's only two ways. One is to use a spaceship or a spelljamming ship if you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, and just kind of crashing into it basically, or just going there because somebody already told you it was there, because like there's not really a reason for a spelljamming ship to go directly into a star or a sun. It's like something players are very unlikely to do without like the right hints to get there. And the other way is that level 1, Pangea, has this like automatic response system that like will pick out people in the multiverse who are just about to die. And they will steal them, have them travel on the River Styx in order to get to this one level. So a lot of people are coming to level 1, they're put into a trance, and sometimes they disappear for no reason and no one knows why. So the main way people get here is that they die in their particular realms and wind up here, or wind up on the River Styx, and are taken here by the ferryman. Anyway, that's my explanation for the fantasy realm I was going to design. If you like that idea, please support me on Kickstarter, because this is a commercial I'm making for Kickstarter. Anyway, thanks for watching, even if you don't support.